Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
They were the screams heard around the country. Now, 46 years later, the Fab Four are rocking a new generation in the classroom. A 2-unit, fully accredited class at UC Berkeley. All 14 albums in the Beatles catalog are heard during the course. But it's not just about listening to Beatles music.
I hope everybody took notes while we were listening.
There are lectures and heady discussions.
Sgt. Pepper, the first track, I think that's really expanded on in Revolution Number 9 and a lot of the same ideas.
I know people who say that this is the worst Beatles album there is.
The course is conceived and taught by undergrad Max Keller.
I've dedicated chunks of my life to creating this course. I took almost a year to build this course from the ground up. I researched, I read almost 15, 20 books. I went back and I learned about every aspect of them.
You're 22 years old. You weren't even born when the Beatles broke up, and yet you want to teach a class on this.
But it doesn't matter when you're born. People love them regardless of their age. Their music is timeless.
The course is sponsored by faculty staff member Professor Canuano.
So many classes here are so intense. You know, we got some of the most intense classes right here. So it does, I think, lighten things up a little bit. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting an easy credit for anything.
And it isn't easy getting in.
We had to write like why we like the Beatles and which of their albums were our favorites, and he would go through everything and pick people.
For the past 2 semesters, there have been waiting lists.
I got 90 or 100 responses the first semester from people who wanted to take it, and I got just shy of that for this semester, and I can only fit roughly 40 people, yeah. People love them, and people are fighting tooth and nail to get in. This has become an incredibly popular class beyond my wildest dreams.
It's the Beatles rock band generation, swept up in the music through video games and new digital releases.
Not sure why, it's just a cultural phenomenon. They're catching on again.
They view documentaries, Beatle movies, and read books that cover biographies to those weirder moments in Beatles history. But don't suggest it's an easy class.
They have assignments that they have to do, and they have to write papers, and there will be a final and everything.
Speaking of a final, how much Beatles trivia does the teacher know?
Who sat in for Ringo when he was sick on tour in Australia?
Jimmy Nichols during the 64 tour.
What pseudonym did Paul use? What song and for whom?
Oh, wow. On a song he wrote.
Tell me what the pseudonym was, what was the song, and for...
This was while he was with the Beatles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then it's... Wow, this is a tough one. I'm trying to think.
Keller was stumped, but he does know a lot of Beatles history. And then there's his passion.
I know I said we were going to listen to Hey Jude and Revolution. We're not. We're going to watch the video clips I have on Anthology because, well, they're awesome.
At UC Berkeley, Linda Yee, CBS 5.